world that never sleeps, where every moment is documented and shared, there's a profound power hidden in silence and obscurity. It might seem counterintuitive, but sometimes the best way to truly connect with ourselves and forge a path forward is by stepping back from the limelight. This isn't just about taking a break. It's about strategically withdrawing from the noise to build something extraordinary in the shadows. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that has surged back into relevance, teaches us the value of internal focus and resilience. By embracing periods of silence, we align more closely with our goals, shield ourselves from the distractions of external approval, and prepare ourselves for a transformation that's deeply rooted and genuinely impactful. Today, we're going to explore how disappearing isn't just for magicians or the introverted. It's a deliberate, powerful strategy that can lead to incredible personal growth and clarity. Whether you're looking to reinvent yourself, focus on a new goal, or simply find peace in a turbulent world, the lessons we delve into today will show you how turning down the volume of the world helps us to amplify our inner voice. Join me as we unpack the art of vanishing, not from the world, but into ourselves, and how this Stoic practice can lead to a life of contentment and achievement far beyond what the eye can see. If you appreciate this deep dive into transforming your life with Stoic wisdom, a simple favor I ask is to hit the subscribe button. And please, don't skip any part of the video to ensure you get the full breadth of insights we're going to explore together. Let's get started. First off, let's talk about silence. Silence is not just golden, it's transformative. Embracing quietude is more than merely refraining from speech. It's about choosing what to share and with whom, very carefully. In our everyday interactions, it's incredibly easy to fall into the trap of oversharing. From the mundane details of our daily routines to our loftiest aspirations. However, when we broadcast every aspect of our lives, we open ourselves up to external influences that can cloud our judgment and sway our direction. By keeping certain details to ourselves, we maintain control over our narrative and protect our mental space from noise and clutter. This approach is deeply rooted in Stoic philosophy, which values the power of self-mastery and control. Stoics believe that true freedom comes from within, and that managing our perceptions and reactions can lead to profound peace and effectiveness. So, when you choose to hold back from sharing every detail of your life, you're not just avoiding gossip or the potential misinterpretation of your words. You're also making a strategic decision to keep your focus sharp and your intentions pure. This selective sharing helps to fortify your goals against the fluctuations of public opinion and keeps you anchored to your true purpose. It's about crafting a life that aligns with your deepest values, not one that's continuously reshaped by every passing comment or criticism. The Stoics teach us that true strength and freedom come from within. This means valuing our own opinions and judgments above those of others, not out of arrogance, but as a form of self-respect and self-sufficiency. It's about assessing ourselves through our internal lens and criteria, not through the fluctuating and often unreliable external feedback loop. Why is this important? When we depend too heavily on the approval or disapproval of others, we become like leaves in the wind, unstable and reactive to every gust. By anchoring our self-worth in our own reasoned judgments, we cultivate a stable core. This stability is what allows us to navigate life's challenges with equanimity and focus. We begin to act not out of a desire to please or conform, but from a deep, consistent place of personal integrity and understanding. This doesn't mean we disregard the feelings or opinions of others. Rather, we weigh them against our values and reason. Stoicism doesn't advocate for emotional coldness, but recommends a judicious balance, where we listen to others yet are not swayed unless their reasoning aligns with our deeply held beliefs and values. It's about creating a mental fortress where the only opinions that breach the walls are those that have been scrutinized and found beneficial to our growth and well-being. Prioritizing self-assessment helps to mute the external noise that often clouds our judgments. This clarity is liberating. It frees up mental energy that was once consumed by worrying about how others perceive us, allowing us to focus more fully on our goals and actions. It fosters a sense of authentic living that is incredibly rewarding because each step you take is aligned with your true self. In a world where sharing every detail of our lives has become the norm, there is tremendous power in secrecy, especially when you're embarking on significant personal or professional projects. The Stoic philosophy advocates for action over proclamation, teaching us that true merit lies in what we accomplish, not in what we promise. Keeping your plans close to your chest is not about fostering a mysterious persona. It's about protecting your focus and energy. Every time details of your ambitions leak out, it's like small cracks forming in the foundation of your intent. Each crack might seem minor, but collectively, they can significantly weaken your resolve and distract from your purpose. When others are aware of your intentions, it opens the door for external opinions, doubts, and even sabotage, whether intentional or subconscious. Moreover, secrecy amplifies your commitment to your goals. By not broadcasting your plans, you avoid the premature satisfaction that public acknowledgement can bring. Studies have shown that when we announce our goals, we are often rewarded with premature praise that can diminish our motivation to see the plan through to completion. Stoicism teaches us to derive satisfaction from the act of doing and the personal fulfillment of seeing results, rather than from the accolades that might come from simply stating intentions. Additionally, keeping plans to yourself aligns with the Stoic practice of focusing on internal validation rather than external approval. It encourages a reflective and deliberate approach to your ambitions. You become more thoughtful in your actions and decisions because you are not influenced by the immediate reactions of others. This inward focus is crucial for deep, meaningful progress and aligns with the Stoic ideal of self-sufficiency. Whether you're advancing in your personal development, experiencing financial gains, or enhancing a skill, the journey you're on is deeply personal and inherently valuable. In the Stoic philosophy, progress is not a means to an end, but an end in itself. The true value lies not in the accolades or recognition that may come from your achievements, but in the personal growth and the virtues you develop along the way. Revealing your progress can inadvertently open the floodgates to external influences that might skew your perception or dilute your focus. For instance, sharing your achievements can sometimes lead to envy or unwanted attention from others. While some may offer genuine praise, others might project their insecurities or competitiveness, which can create an environment filled with negative energy and potential distractions. This is why Stoicism teaches us to appreciate and protect our inner peace and progress from the potentially corrosive effects of public scrutiny. Moreover, keeping your progress private allows you to savor your achievements without the external pressure of living up to others' expectations. It helps maintain that crucial internal validation where you measure success by your standards and growth rather than by the applause or approval of others. This self-referential approach is not only liberating, but also aligns with the Stoic ideal of self-sufficiency and resilience. You become less dependent on external validation and more focused on the intrinsic rewards of your efforts. Additionally, privacy in your progress nurtures a reflective and humble approach to personal growth. It encourages you to continually look inward, assess your development, and make adjustments based on your self-evaluation rather than external feedback. This introspection is a vital component of Stoic practice, fostering a deeper connection with your core self and ensuring that your advancements are both meaningful and aligned with your ultimate life goals. Inevitably, along your journey, you'll encounter setbacks and challenges. How you deal with these can fundamentally shape your path forward. The Stoic philosophy offers a powerful perspective here. Embrace your failures privately. This isn't about hiding your struggles out of shame or fear of judgment. It's about understanding and utilizing these experiences as vital ingredients for growth. Stoicism teaches us to see every obstacle as an opportunity to practice virtues such as resilience, courage, and persistence. By handling your struggles internally, you turn inward to reflect on these experiences deeply. This private contemplation allows you to extract valuable lessons without the external noise of pity or unsolicited advice. When you deal with your failures in solitude, you are not distracted by having to defend your actions or by the need to maintain a certain image. Instead, you can honestly assess what went wrong and why, which empowers you to make more informed and deliberate choices in the future. Moreover, embracing failures privately aligns with the Stoic idea of focusing on what you can control. You might not be able to control the outcome of every endeavor, but you can control your reactions and your mindset when setbacks occur. Instead of looking outward for validation or commiseration, look inward. Ask yourself what this failure teaches you, how it can contribute to your character, and how it can refine your strategies moving forward. This internal processing of failures builds mental toughness and independence, qualities that are essential for anyone striving to lead a life governed by Stoic principles. It strengthens your resolve as you come to realize that your path is yours to shape, regardless of external circumstances. Each failure, when embraced silently and wisely, builds a layer of resilience and fortitude, equipping you better for future challenges. As you step into the silence, the first task is to crystallize your objectives. What do you aim to accomplish in this period of intentional quietude? Setting clear, tangible goals is not merely an exercise in thought. It's an essential part of the journey towards self-improvement and true personal transformation. Whether your focus is on learning a new language, enhancing your physical health, or launching a new venture, the specificity of your goals will serve as your North Star, guiding every step you take. Stoicism teaches us that the path to virtue and inner peace is paved with purposeful action. The Stoics didn't just endure life's challenges, they actively sought to overcome them by setting clear, actionable. This philosophy underscores the importance of having a well-defined target. Knowing precisely what you want to achieve gives your actions direction and meaning. It turns abstract aspirations into concrete plans, making them more attainable. Moreover, having a specific goal in mind allows you to measure your progress accurately. This measurement isn't just about reaching milestones, but about reflecting on the growth that each step brings. Every small achievement on the way to your larger goal is a testament to your commitment and a chance to cultivate virtues like discipline, perseverance, and resilience, key tenets of Stoic thought. When you pick a target, you're doing more than just setting a goal. You're mapping out a pathway for your personal evolution. This targeted approach ensures that every effort you make and every hour you spend is infused with purpose. It aligns perfectly with the Stoic belief in living deliberately. In the quiet solitude of your disappearance from the noise of the world, your clear, focused goals become beacons of light, keeping you oriented and motivated, no matter the obstacles you face. Once you have set your sights on a clear target, the next step is to align every aspect of your life with achieving that goal. This isn't just about occasional effort. It involves a fundamental restructuring of your daily life to make your ambitions not merely an aspect of your life, but the core of it. If your goal is to enhance your fitness, consider the practicality of living close to a gym or integrating physical activities into your daily routine that reinforce this commitment. If it's about acquiring knowledge, transform your living space into a haven of learning filled with books, documentaries, and access to online courses. Stoicism teaches us that discipline is not about restriction, but about aligning our actions with our true values. The Stoics view discipline as a form of self-love, a way to honor oneself by living in accordance with one's principles. By structuring your life around your goals, you practice this high form of self-discipline daily. This isn't just about filling your time with activities that push you toward your goals. It's about crafting a lifestyle that is wholly integrated with your objectives, ensuring that every hour contributes to your broader vision. Effective time management plays a crucial role in this process. It's about prioritizing activities that drive you toward your goal and cutting out the noise and distractions that divert you from your path. This focused dedication is what turns ordinary endeavors into extraordinary achievements. It's about making each day a building block for your success, where no moment is wasted and every action has purpose. Living this way requires a deep commitment and can be challenging, but it is immensely rewarding. As you align more closely with your goals, you'll find that your efforts start to feed into a larger momentum. This isn't just about reaching a destination. It's about becoming the kind of person who achieves these goals. Stoicism doesn't just encourage us to endure, it urges us to transform endurance into a dynamic, purpose-driven way of life. Embracing this lifestyle means more than just adhering to a new routine. It's about fundamentally loving the process of transformation itself, including the discipline and the solitude it entails. Stoicism, with its deep roots in mastering the self, teaches us to cherish the present moment and find contentment within our current circumstances, even as we strive for greater achievements. This mindset shift is essential and profound. It requires you to view each day, each challenge, and each moment of solitude not as hurdles but as opportunities to grow and reinforce your commitment to your goals. Stoicism doesn't merely manage perceptions, it transforms them. It encourages us to see the beauty in the process and the strength in what might often feel like solitary endeavors. By learning to appreciate the quiet moments of effort and reflection, you align more closely with Stoic ideals that value inner peace and resilience over external rewards. Reprogramming your mind also means cultivating a mindset that does not shy away from discomfort. Stoics believe that growth often comes from facing and embracing challenges head-on. In this transformative phase, you learn to derive joy from what might previously have been considered arduous tasks. This reprogramming turns discipline into a source of happiness because you know that each disciplined action takes you one step closer to your goal. Moreover, this new mindset encourages you to live intentionally, focusing on what truly matters and discarding what does not align with your goals. It's about making peace with the fact that while the future holds promise, the present holds the keys to that future. You start to see that true contentment comes not from reaching a distant goal, but from knowing that you are currently exactly where you need to be, doing exactly what you need to do. Adopting this Stoic way of thinking reshapes not just your actions, but your entire outlook on life. It shifts your focus from outcomes to the quality of your daily actions. This shift is crucial for genuine, lasting change because it builds a foundation of habits and attitudes that will sustain not just the achievement of one goal, but the continual pursuit of personal excellence. Initially, the idea of disappearing was about retreating from the public eye to focus on self-improvement, away from the distractions and pressures of external expectations. However, as you progress and evolve, you might discover that the need to step back into the spotlight isn't as compelling as you anticipated. This isn't a sign of failure, but a profound realization about the nature of true transformation. Stoicism teaches us that the worth of our actions and our growth should not be measured by external accolades, but by the internal peace and contentment they bring. If you've genuinely transformed, integrating the principles and practices that have reshaped your life, you'll find that the quiet satisfaction of knowing you have evolved into your better self is far more rewarding than any public recognition. This shift in perspective is a hallmark of deep, meaningful change. This process of reappearing then becomes less about making a grand entrance back into society and more about seamlessly integrating your new self into your everyday. It's not a moment of triumph broadcasted to elicit admiration, but a subtle, continuous expression of the new principles and insights that now guide your life. Your transformation becomes visible not through explicit displays, but through the quality of your actions and the serenity of your demeanor. Moreover, Stoicism reminds us that external recognition is fleeting. Today's accolades can easily become tomorrow's forgotten news. What remains, what endures, is the sense of fulfillment and self-contentment from knowing you live true to your values and capabilities. This enduring contentment becomes the true reward for your efforts, far surpassing the ephemeral satisfaction of external validation. Therefore, as you consider reappearing, remember that your transformation is an ongoing process. You are forever changed, not just for a moment, but for a continuous journey of self-evolution. Each day presents a new opportunity to live out the truths you've embraced. The need to reappear should never overshadow the greater need to remain authentic to your transformed self. living out the Stoic virtues of wisdom, justice, courage, and moderation. In the whirlwind of our daily lives, where challenges loom at every corner, the strength to not just survive but thrive is something we all yearn to harness. Imagine, then, not merely pushing through but evolving through every trial, emerging not only unscathed but stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Today, we delve into the core of what it means to be unbreakable. We explore the 6 defining habits of mentally strong people, habits that are not inherited but forged in the fires of discipline and self-reflection. Each moment of hardship, every instance where life knocks you down, these are not merely obstacles but opportunities. Opportunities that mentally strong people leverage to fortify their inner strength. What if I told you that the secret to enduring strength isn't about never falling, but about learning the art of rising every time we fall? It's about embracing the pain, learning from the turbulence, and transforming turmoil into triumph. So if you see the value in turning challenges into stepping stones, then join us, subscribe, and become part of a community committed to building strength. Are you ready to discover the incredible potential that lies beyond your trials? Let's get started. The very nature of life is change, yet how often do we find ourselves fighting it, resisting it, as if we could somehow escape the inevitable? The truth is, change is not just a part of life, it is life itself. Stoic philosophy teaches us that the only constant is change, and the mastery of one's life lies in the ability to adapt. To be mentally strong, to truly thrive in the midst of life's tempests, one must not only accept change, but welcome it with open arms. Think about the last time you faced a significant change. Perhaps it was a move to a new city, a shift in your career, or even a change in a personal relationship. Was it uncomfortable? Did it feel like you were losing a part of yourself? These feelings are natural, but here lies the crucial insight. Within that discomfort lies a profound opportunity for growth. Imagine for a moment that you are a ship at sea. Change is the wind. It can be unpredictable, wild, and frightening. But those who are mentally strong are the skilled sailors, adept at adjusting their sails, using the wind to propel them forward rather than be dashed against the rocks. They understand something fundamental, that the wind is not their enemy but a force that can be harnessed to explore new horizons. Stoicism offers a perspective that change, no matter how daunting, carries with it the seeds of new strength. It teaches us that what we initially perceive as setbacks are often veiled opportunities. It's about perception. The Stoic emperor Marcus Aurelius once said, "Our actions may be impeded, but there can be no impeding our intentions or dispositions, because we can accommodate and adapt." The mind adapts and converts to its own purposes the obstacle to our acting, and this adaptation, this resilience, is at the core of mental strength. Let me share a story that illustrates the power of embracing change. It's about a friend of mine who lost his job, a career he had built over decades. Initially, he was devastated, overwhelmed by uncertainty and fear, but then he took a step that many might find counterintuitive. He embraced this dramatic change. He used his newfound time to pursue a passion he had always placed on the back burner: painting. Fast forward to today, and he not only found solace in his art, but has turned it into a thriving new career path. This wouldn't have been possible if he hadn't embraced the winds of change, stepping into the unknown with courage. So, how can you start to embrace change? Begin by viewing each change as an experiment, a step towards discovering new aspects of yourself. Whether it's changing a habit, altering your routine, or even changing the way you think about change itself, each step is a lesson, each pivot a chapter in your story of growth. Remember, every time you embrace change, you're not just adapting, you're setting the stage for transformation. Change breaks the old to make way for the new, and in that newness, you find new strengths, new passions, and new paths to happiness that you could never have anticipated. This isn't just about suppressing what you feel. Far from it. It's about understanding your emotions, channeling them constructively, and maintaining equilibrium even in the face of life's upheavals. We've all been there, right? Those moments when our feelings seem to get the better of us, clouding our judgment, dictating our actions. But what if we could master these tempestuous seas, navigate through them with the composure of a Stoic philosopher? Stoicism teaches us that while we cannot control what happens to us, we absolutely can control how we respond. Picture this. You're faced with a situation that typically sends your heart racing and your mind spiraling into a vortex of what-ifs and whys. Now, imagine observing your reaction as an outsider, acknowledging the surge of emotion but choosing a different response. You take a breath. You pause. In that pause lies your power. The power to choose a response that aligns with your values, not just your instincts. This approach doesn't mean your emotions are invalid or that they should be ignored. Quite the contrary. It means you recognize and respect your feelings without letting them steer your life off course. It's about saying, yes, I feel this anger or anxiety, but I choose not to let it dominate my actions. It's about reclaiming control, one thought, one decision at a time. Think of the last time you faced a stressful situation. Maybe it was a disagreement with a friend, a setback at work, or a financial strain. Reflect on how you reacted. Did your emotions lead to actions you later regretted? Now, let's reimagine that scenario. This time, you channel your inner Stoic. You allow yourself to feel the emotion fully and without judgment. You observe it, understand its source, and then gently but firmly guide it to a place of reason and wisdom. This self-regulation is not about denial, it's about management and transformation. It's turning the heat of anger into the light of understanding. It's transforming the paralysis of fear into the clarity of caution. By mastering our emotions, we don't just endure life's challenges, we thrive amidst them. We turn our emotional energy into fuel for personal growth and achievement. And here's something else. Each time you successfully manage an emotional response, you build a little more resilience, a little more strength. Like a muscle that grows stronger with exercise, your emotional resilience expands with each challenge faced and overcome. You begin to trust in your ability to handle whatever comes your way, not because you are the master of it. So, next time you find yourself in the whirlwind of emotional turmoil, remember this. You have the tools to calm the storm. You can acknowledge your emotions as natural, but choose actions that are rational. Embrace the Stoic wisdom that has empowered countless souls through millennia, not as a suppression of emotion, but as a transformation of it. Harness it, mold it, and let it elevate you to heights you never thought possible. In a world that never sleeps, where the demands on our time and energy are incessant, learning to set boundaries is not just wise, it's essential. Stoicism teaches us the value of self-mastery and inner tranquility, but how often do we sacrifice these for the sake of others? The truth is, without setting firm boundaries, we risk not only our well-being, but also our ability to pursue what truly matters. Think of your energy as a sacred reserve, a finite source that fuels not only your daily activities, but also your deepest passions and pursuits. When this reserve is depleted by the countless demands of others, be they work commitments, social obligations, or even the subtle pressures of digital media, what's left for you? How can you pursue your personal goals or invest in self-care when your energy has been spent on everything but yourself? Setting boundaries is thus not about selfishness, it's about self-preservation. It's about discerning what truly deserves your time and energy, and having the courage to say no to the rest. Stoic philosophy doesn't call us to turn away from the world, but to engage with it on our terms, to ensure that our interactions are intentional and our commitments meaningful. Let me tell you a story about a close friend of mine, someone who always went the extra mile for everyone. She was the first to arrive and the last to leave. The person who volunteered for every project, who never said no. Initially, it seemed like her boundless energy knew no limits, until it did. One day, she confided in me that she felt exhausted, not just physically but emotionally. She was giving so much to others that she had forgotten to give to herself. After much reflection, inspired partly by the Stoic practice of self-reflection, she began to set boundaries. She started small, by limiting the number of projects she would take on and by carving out time for her hobbies. The change wasn't instant, but over time, she found herself feeling less drained and more fulfilled. She was still generous with her time, but now it was on her terms, ensuring she had enough left for the things that truly enrich her life. How then can we start setting these vital boundaries? It begins with self-awareness. Take a moment to reflect on what parts of your life feel overwhelming or draining. Is it a particular commitment that brings more stress than satisfaction? Or perhaps it's a relationship that demands more than it gives back. Recognizing these drains on your energy is the first step towards setting boundaries. Next, communicate these boundaries clearly and firmly. This doesn't mean being confrontational. Rather, it's about being honest with others about what you can and cannot do, what you are willing to accept and what you are not. It's about teaching others how to treat you by showing them what you value. And finally, enforce these boundaries. It's one thing to set them, it's another to maintain them. This might mean turning down invitations, stepping back from obligations that no longer serve you, or simply learning to prioritize your own needs alongside those of others. This enforcement isn't a one-time act, but a continuous process that requires dedication and commitment. In the tapestry of life, every thread you weave plays a part in the larger picture of your story. Each decision, every action holds the weight of potential outcomes, and understanding this is pivotal. In the world of Stoicism, there is a profound emphasis on the concept of taking responsibility, not just in our actions but also in our reactions. The Stoic philosophers taught that while we cannot always control what happens to us, we have absolute power over how we respond. This doctrine isn't just about accountability, it's about empowerment. Let's delve into a narrative that perhaps we've all lived in one way or another. Picture yourself working on a project that's close to your heart. You've poured in hours, days, maybe even months of effort. But despite your dedication, things go awry. It's a familiar scenario, isn't it? Maybe the results fell short of expectations, or an unforeseen issue threw everything off course. It's in moments like these that your character is tested. Do you look outward, casting blame on circumstances or others? Or do you look inward, assessing what part you played in the outcome? I remember a time when I faced a similar situation. It was a project I believed in deeply, and initially, when it didn't pan out, my first instinct was to blame external factors. The timing was off, the resources were insufficient, the support wasn't adequate. But upon reflection, a fundamental Stoic practice, I realized that these were elements I could have anticipated, perhaps even mitigated. Acknowledging that I had missed these signs was tough. It's not easy to admit our oversights. However, this admission was a turning point. It shifted my perspective from one of blame to one of learning. I asked myself, what can this teach me? Instead of, why did this happen to me? This shift is crucial. It transforms moments of failure into opportunities for growth. When you take responsibility for your actions, you move from a passive state, where life happens to you, to an active state, where you happen to life. You start to see every challenge as a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block. This doesn't mean you won't encounter frustrations or disappointments, but instead of allowing them to defeat you, you use them as fuel to forge ahead, to refine your strategies and to strengthen your resolve. Taking responsibility might sound daunting, but it begins with simple, everyday decisions. Start by owning your choices, both big and small. Did a conversation not go as planned? Reflect on your words and consider how different approaches might yield different results. Was a goal not achieved? Evaluate your methods and determine what adjustments are necessary to succeed next time. Each act of responsibility reinforces your agency and your capacity to influence your destiny. And remember, taking responsibility is not about shouldering a burden of guilt. It's about embracing a position of control. It's about saying, here is where I can do better, not here is where I failed. The Stoics believed in focusing on efforts, not outcomes, and in finding value in every experience, positive or negative. In the relentless pursuit of our goals, we often become our own harshest critics. It's easy to spiral into self-doubt and criticism when things don't go according to plan. But what if I told you that the secret to sustained success and inner peace lies not in constant self-critique, but in practicing self-compassion. This isn't just about being kind to yourself. It's about acknowledging your struggles, accepting your imperfections, and still choosing to nurture your spirit, much like the Stoics, who emphasized understanding and managing our own perceptions and reactions. Consider the times you faced setbacks or failures. Think about how you responded. Did you berate yourself, or did you take a moment to offer yourself understanding and grace? The journey to achieving anything significant is often riddled with obstacles and setbacks. It's how you speak to yourself in these moments that can either forge a path forward or create a barrier that is hard to break. I remember once, after a particularly challenging project, I found myself caught in a storm of self-criticism. I had worked tirelessly, yet the outcome was far from what I had hoped for. Initially, my inner dialogue was harsh, filled with messages of failure and self-doubt. But then I paused. I realized that if a friend had come to me with the same story, I would have offered words of encouragement and support, not criticism. Why, then, was I not offering the same to myself? Self-compassion is this shift in dialogue. It's treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer a friend. The Stoics teach us not to be disturbed by events, but by our perception of these events. By practicing self-compassion, you alter your perception of your experiences from negative to nurturing. This doesn't mean shying away from responsibility or ignoring your mistakes. Instead, it means accepting your imperfections, learning from them, and moving forward without the heavy baggage of self-judgment. Practicing self-compassion starts with recognizing your humanity. Understand that to err is human, to struggle is part of growth. When you make a mistake, instead of diving into a sea of self-criticism, ask yourself, what can this teach me? Use setbacks as learning points, not as anchors that pull you down. Another step is to be mindful of your inner critic. Listen to the voices in your head and challenge them. Are they fair? Are they helpful? Would you say them to someone else? If not, it's time to reframe them. Replace critical thoughts with supportive, compassionate ones. This shift not only changes how you view yourself, but also how you interact with the world. Moreover, make self-compassion a regular practice. Just like physical exercise strengthens the body, regular moments of self-compassion strengthen your mental and emotional resilience. Set aside time to reflect on your day. Focus on what you did well and where you could improve, always through a lens of compassion. Embracing self-compassion means breaking free from the confines of self-doubt and adopting a more forgiving, understanding approach to personal challenges. It allows you to celebrate small victories while constructively learning from the losses. With self-compassion, you are not just surviving, you are thriving, learning to sail smoothly on the rough seas of life. In a world that constantly changes, the ability to keep learning and evolving is not just a skill, it's a necessity. Imagine navigating life's vast ocean with the relentless spirit of a voyager, one who knows that behind every horizon lies new knowledge and endless possibilities. This is the essence of mental strength, a perpetual thirst for growth, a deep-seated resolve to never stand still. It's about embracing the Stoic belief that life is a teacher and every experience a lesson. Remember, the path to self-improvement isn't paved with dramatic breakthroughs, but with continuous small steps of progress. Each step is a piece in the puzzle of who you are and who you might become. Think about the last time you learned something new, how it felt, the excitement, and sometimes the frustration. Did it change the way you think? Did it inspire you to explore further? This is the power of learning. It transforms your mind, expands your horizons, and reshapes your world. Let me share a personal story that illustrates this transformative power of continuous learning. A few years ago, I decided to delve into the art of photography. At first, it was merely a hobby, a way to capture moments of beauty. But as I learned more about the techniques, the history, and the stories behind each image, photography became more than just a pastime. It became a new lens through which I viewed the world. It taught me about light and shadow, about perspective, and most importantly, about the details that we often overlook. Each photograph became a lesson in patience and observation, and each lesson enhanced not just my skills with the camera, but my skills in life. To never stop learning is to maintain a state of readiness, to be adaptable in the face of change, and to always be prepared to seize new opportunity. It's about being curious and allowing that curiosity to propel you forward. Ask questions, seek answers, and challenge yourself to step outside your comfort zone. Whether it's picking up a new book, starting a new course, or simply exploring a new hobby, every new venture is a step toward becoming a more rounded, enlightened individual. Embracing continuous learning also means acknowledging that we never fully arrive. There is always something more to know, some new skill to acquire. This might seem daunting, but within this realization lies true freedom. The freedom to reinvent oneself, to innovate, and to pivot without fear of the unknown. Stoicism teaches us not to fear failure, but to use it as a catalyst for growth. So when faced with challenges, don't shy away, dive deeper, learn from them, and emerge stronger. Moreover, make this journey of learning a shared one. Engage with others who are on their own paths of discovery. Exchange ideas, debate theories, and collaborate on projects. These interactions not only enrich your learning experience, but also build a community of like-minded individuals who support and inspire each other. Remember that the goal is not just to accumulate information, but to understand deeply, to apply wisely, and to live fully. So, I urge you, keep pushing the boundaries of what you know. Keep challenging the limits of what you can do. After all, in the words of the great philosopher Seneca, as long as you live, keep learning how to live.